Now, my last questions. Ready? One,
Hmm.
two, three. Corny's best directorial advice.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
The
Corny
best
best directorial the advice that she gave you.
Um, Stop using your eyebrows so much. Oh, just the other day. Just the other day. Uh, I got that
I can't
what did
wait.
I say?
the other
Oh my
day.
god.
I was doing something, and you told me to just like. Usually, it's just like tone it down. She's
He
usually
laughs,
telling me to
he
tone it down.
making me sweat laughing so much.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint, but the last shoot day of our current film, and we have one more day coming, but on the fifth day, I was doing the scene, and you thought I was too big. I don't know, but it was good advice, and I toned it down, and it was a lot better. I just
Uh,
sort of brought it into myself, you know.
okay, so the eyebrow and the tone it down. You're too intense. You tone it down.
I don't know
Okay.
about intense, maybe too big,
Too
too
theatrical.
theatrical. Yeah,
Oh, to theater.
not
Well, because
intense. Makes it
you
sound like I was
are
doing something good, you know.
you're in a stage that you have done a lot of theater. You have done
Yeah,
a lot of theater.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So and so she is. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, thank you for that. I going to start with our beautiful Corny Bar and Corny. I I was so when I was investigating about you and learning about you, I was like, wow, like you are amazing, and I learn like the things you do and your dedication to it, and so many things behind the scene that you don't even have exposed out there. I have to really dig to find. So in the Great Beyond, you
Yes.
portray Monica navigating grief and sisterhood. What
Yes.
drew you to that role, and how did it challenge you emotionally?
I remember that role. That was a Playfest reading at Orlando Shakes. And
Yes.
that's when they invite playwrights to workshop their published plays, but it's like a new situation for the playwright. Like the play hasn't been produced anywhere before. So this is like the first time they get to work with actors and hear it read aloud. And so the play is at a very beginning stage, right? And I knew of this playwright because he'd written some great plays before, but
Mhm.
I wanted to do something of his because I admire his work. Um, but the play had some flaws, okay, because it's a new play, right? So I'm a character who is grieving her father's death,
Right.
but yet I'm blaming him for a lot of things in the past.
Mhm.
And so it was a very complicated thing. And it was supposed to be a comedy, which I wasn't finding the humor in it. But it's kind of funny
Dark
because
humor, like a regular
yeah, it's
humor.
dark humor. But I remember on my way to the reading, to the performance night,
Yeah.
a voice came to me and it just said, lighten up. And I think that must have come from God. God was telling me to just lighten up, to not play the tragedy of the situation, but to
Yeah.
kind of just lighten the whole thing up. And I did that, and it really made a big difference. But I think
Really.
being in those
I felt
kinds
like
of situations where you're working on a new play can be really thrilling because you're the first one to bring life to it. Um, and I probably should have asked more questions of the playwright and told him, how is this funny exactly? Because I'm not really getting it.
Yeah.
But, it was a good experience anyway. It was a good learning experience. So.
Amazing, amazing. How does your stage experience in, inform your work behind the camera?
You know, I think I've always been the kind of person who's thought of things that I thought would be funny, skits or something to be performed. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
I have always had a lot of ideas of things that I would like to bring to the stage or to the screen. And so, sometimes I'm thinking about it from a writer's kind of perspective, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes I think things from an actor's perspective.
Yeah.
And sometimes, they conflict a little bit. If I'm an actor in a piece, sometimes I'm thinking, well, how does my role fit in to the rest of the piece? Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I understand it completely, and other times I don't. So I think it's natural for me to do both because I've always liked to write and I've always liked to perform.
Okay.
But sometimes they can conflict a little bit. When it's not your own writing,
Yeah.
you have to make decisions. You have to come up with, the right answers for yourself to be able to
Mm-hmm.
perform it. But it might
Mm-hmm.
not be exactly what the original author had in mind. So sometimes I'm like thinking a little bit as a third person in the party.
I see.
But it's natural for me to do both writing, acting, directing.
I see. I like it. I like it. Okay. So, self-tape. It is such a relatable concept for actors. It was post-pandemic, right?
Yes. Well, I wrote it. Yes, I wrote it after the pandemic. That's
But what
correct.
what moment sparked the idea for the farcical tape?
It
What
was
moment?
all of the stuff that we were doing during the pandemic when we were doing our auditions at home
Hmm.
and taping our own auditions. So night after night of setting up the camera, you know, memorizing dialogue, doing our auditions. We would read for each other the opposite role, and
Hmm.
sending these things in night after night after night. And I just remember thinking just how it became inconvenient after a while to have to
Hmm.
spend your evening doing this. And I remember thinking there must be something I can do with this material. How can I use this to
This
tell a
experience, this
story?
process, how can I use this? And say, uh-huh.
Yes. And I kind of wanted to shed some light on it too, because I think it can be a little bit I I don't know if I want to use the term abusive because that's a pretty strong term. But
Hmm.
actors get taken advantage of all the
No,
time.
I know.
And in a way this does take advantage of them too because they send in all this material, they send in all these tapes and they don't hear anything back. It's
Hmm.
not a relationship. It used to
Hmm.
be that you would walk into an audition room
Yeah.
and you would meet the director, you would meet the casting director, you would have a conversation. It might be a brief conversation. You
Hmm.
would audition for them and you would get a feeling from them
Yes,
how
yes.
think they thought you did,
Yeah. But
and then
through
they
through
like
through film in the camera and through Zoom and through video is not the same.
it's not the same.
You
And
can't,
it's
yeah.
not like this where we're talking to each other. You would
Yeah.
just film yourself and send it in.
And
You never
send it.
have
You
it.
don't know how they saw it, how they readed, they have questions. Oh man,
Right,
a little
right. And
too.
you don't have an opportunity to make an adjustment, because
Hmm.
sometimes you go into the room and they say, okay, I like what you did, but can you try this
And then
instead?
you can redo it and apply to
Exactly.
other, yeah. Oh.
Right.
You can show them that maybe your initial impression of the
Hmm.
role might have been maybe incorrect, but
Right.
you are an actor. You can make a change and
Hmm.
do something different if that's what they're looking for.
Right, right,
So
right.
when you're doing these self tapes, you don't have that opportunity. You get one chance to
Hmm.
give your own interpretation of what you think the role is. You send it in, and then you never hear back from anybody. And that's how it's done
The
now. If it's
anxiety, did they like it or no? Should I
you,
wait? Is it
No
no? Is it
feedback.
you
yeah?
don't get any feedback.
Wow. Not
It's
even as
done.
a courtesy, they reply back like, thank you, but no, no, you just leave it in
No,
limbo. Oh, that's
that's
so
right.
cruel.
Yeah, and actors tell themselves, "Oh, you just forget about it. Just do it and forget about it. Do it and forget about it." And you can do that for a while, and then it starts to infringe upon your life, and
Yes.
you know, and then you start to do things like, "Let me write a story about it," which is what I did.
Genius. Genius. She took advantage of it. Genius. Genius,
That's
genius,
right.
genius. I saw an
Yeah.
interview where Duncan was like, I was watching an interview and Duncan says something. He says something like, it's funny, but at the same time, it hits you, like it's conflicted because it's true. You go through that process and you try to make it seem like it's funny, but when you're there, that's not, I'm rephrasing, that's not exactly what I said, but I gathered that that's what he was uh, trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny if you look back on it, but when you're doing it, it's not really so funny.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's your time and your energy. You know what I mean? It's your
Yeah.
hopes and dreams. It's like everything that you want, but you get nothing back. And it's easier for the casting people because all they have to do is watch these things on their phone or their screen, and they don't
Yeah,
have to
and
deal
they're
with
like,
people anymore.
yeah, exactly. Yes, no, yes, no. Oh, but then this one is better, and this one, oh, I have to remember to go back to that one, but then they forget. You don't know what's happening.
You don't know.
You mentioned recording each other's audition with Duncan for years. How did those shared experience shape the tone of the storytelling?
Well, it, if when you see SelfTape, you will see the auditions that he does.
Mhm.
I took bits and pieces of the auditions that we had to do to craft these moments in the film. So I
Okay.
was using some of the material. I wrote the auditions, but the ideas came from stuff that we actually had to do. So we definitely used
Uh-huh.
situations of things that happened to us during
So,
this time.
okay, so that's an advantage. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have to say though, some of the copy she wrote for these auditions, I'm not going to do any because I don't want to ruin it.
No, don't.
But they they, they, a lot of the copy. Sometimes the copy can be really bad, especially the commercial copy.
Yes.
Uh, but the stuff she wrote was so hilariously bad. I just love doing it.
Yeah.
Like insurance commercials and stuff.
Yes,
It's
yes.
I've done insurance
Yes,
commercials.
I
Like,
saw the insurance commercial. I
sure.
saw the insurance, the one with the little girl. My
Yeah.
favorite one is the one that you sneaking into a house. The commercial
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
the alarm system. That's hilarious. I love it.
I love doing that one. That one was fun.
Yes, I'm sure.
The home security one is great.
Yeah.
Just broke into your house. Yep, no security. And don't bother buying a traditional security camera. They only see part of the room. I just avoid them and take what I want. Nice. I had to get out of there fast. Take my word for it. You want real protection from people like me.
Don't you think Mom and I should be protected if anything would ever happen to you?
Often without a medical exam. Don't put off the decision any longer. Apply in just 10 minutes. Go to.
I want your dreams to soar just like that rocket.
I love doing that one. That one was fun.
Yes, I'm sure. For people to see because it was really good. It was really good. You're great on that one. Corny, as someone shaping both the story and the visuals, right? How do you use humor to explore the more emotional or personal experience of your characters?
Well, some of it is through the script, like these auditions that he has to do. I tried to make them like a little bit ridiculous, so they're kind of funny. And also, I think the pacing of the piece. So a lot of this is going to come together in the editing, but the way that I wanted to film it was that he gets more and more desperate. And the situation for him gets worse and worse when he's doing, as the plot goes along, he actually does book a job.
Yeah.
And the job takes place in his own home. So things start to happen and the pace starts to go faster and faster. And then the camera work that I'm using is going to be a little bit more frenetic. So the first part of the film is very static shots. He just like the camera just kind of sits there and he does his actions. As we go on, the camera starts to kind of move a little bit faster and a little bit faster. Yes.
To give that intensity, to make that the feeling of that frenzy. Okay. That desperation.
Right.
Like it.
Yeah. And I have to say the secondary characters in this are so funny. We got so lucky with the actors that we booked for this. They're just wonderful.
Hilarious.
Everybody has done a good job. And everybody shines in their own little way. And it's just such a delight to have friends come on board and work with
Yeah.
us in this thing. And
Good.
They're all great.
they are
All great.
wonderful.
They all
Sure.
shine, I think.
So,
Yeah.
so what is one scene in self-tape that make you laugh every time you watch it? What would be one scene that every time, like, doesn't get old? That joke doesn't get old.
Well,
If you can tell us.
let's see, because we haven't finished shooting it yet.
Of course, yeah.
But
so far.
so far, I mean, there's a scene with Duncan doing his auditions, and he's there's some little technical things that he keeps doing incorrectly, that he figures out, oh, I missed this, or I missed this, I had to do this. So he has to reshoot and reshoot and reshoot this one little bit, right? And finally he gets so frustrated that he does something obscene. and it's just funny. And
Okay. See, she's laughing, just remembering it, she's laughing. You can tell how good it's gonna be.
You had to be there.
Would you?
And if the director likes it so much, I can only imagine how much we are gonna like it.